If you are over 60 and you have belly fat that just will not budge, you are not lazy and you are not doing it wrong. The reason it keeps coming back is that belly fat after 60 is not like regular fat. It sits deep around your organs and it constantly releases harmful chemicals into your blood every single day. Those chemicals are directly linked to heart disease, diabetes, and hormonal problems. And until you deal with that, no diet or workout is going to touch it. These 8 morning drinks go after exactly that. Before we get into the list, drop your age in the comments and tell us how long you have been dealing with belly fat that just will not go away. We read every comment and it helps us know what to cover next. Number 8. Cinnamon water. You probably think of cinnamon as just a spice you sprinkle on oatmeal or coffee. But when you drink it dissolved in warm water first thing in the morning, it does something very specific inside your body that directly targets belly fat. One of the main drivers of belly fat after 60 is insulin resistance. When your cells stop responding properly to insulin, your blood sugar has nowhere to go, and your body converts it straight into fat, especially around your midsection. Cinnamon contains compounds that mimic insulin in the body. They help your cells absorb blood sugar more efficiently, so less of it gets converted into fat. Research has shown that even small daily amounts of cinnamon reduce fasting blood sugar levels consistently over time. Cinnamon also has strong anti-inflammatory properties, which matters because chronic inflammation is one of the 3 main reasons belly fat keeps coming back after 60. By calming that inflammation first thing in the morning, you are setting your body up to stop storing and start releasing that deep belly fat. After 60, insulin resistance becomes increasingly common. Your cells have been exposed to decades of blood sugar fluctuations, and they become less sensitive to insulin over time. That makes the blood sugar to belly fat conversion happen faster and more frequently than it did when you were younger. If you have been eating reasonably well and still watching your waistline expand, your blood sugar is likely spiking more than you realize, and your body is quietly converting that excess into belly fat. Starting your morning by addressing insulin resistance directly changes that pattern from the very first hour you are awake. Add half a teaspoon of real cinnamon to a cup of warm water and stir well. Drink it before breakfast on an empty stomach. Use Ceylon cinnamon if you can find it, as it is the variety with the strongest research behind it and the safest for daily use. Number 7. Ginger water. Ginger is something you might use occasionally in cooking or tea when you have a stomach ache. But drinking it every morning in warm water has a targeted effect on the inflammation and cortisol that drive belly fat, specifically after 60. Ginger contains powerful anti-inflammatory compounds that researchers have found reduce the same type of chronic low-grade inflammation that belly fat both causes and feeds off. When belly fat releases its harmful chemicals into your bloodstream, inflammation goes up. When inflammation goes up, your body stores more belly fat. It is a cycle that keeps repeating. Ginger helps interrupt that cycle by reducing the inflammation that is keeping it going. Ginger also helps regulate cortisol, your stress hormone. High cortisol sends a direct signal to your body to store fat around your midsection. Research has found that ginger helps modulate the stress response and reduce the cortisol that is fueling that fat storage signal. After 60, cortisol tends to stay elevated longer than it should. The system that is supposed to bring it back down after stress becomes less responsive with age. That means your body spends more time in fat-storing mode than fat-burning mode. Ginger helps push that balance back in the right direction. If your midsection keeps growing even when you are not eating more, cortisol is probably a big part of why. You do not feel stressed, but your body is acting like it is. That is the cycle ginger helps interrupt, and why drinking it in the morning before the day's stress builds makes the most difference. Slice a 1-inch piece of fresh ginger and steep it in hot water for 5 minutes. Let it cool slightly, then drink it warm. You can add a small squeeze of lemon, which compounds the anti-inflammatory effect. Fresh ginger is more potent than powder, but either works if fresh is not available. Number 6. Tart cherry juice. This one catches people off guard. Tart cherry juice does not sound like something that would melt belly fat, but the research behind it specifically for cortisol and inflammation in older adults is genuinely impressive. Tart cherries contain some of the highest concentrations of anti-inflammatory compounds of any food studied. But what makes them particularly relevant for belly fat is their effect on cortisol. Research has found that tart cherry consumption significantly lowers cortisol levels, specifically the elevated nighttime cortisol that causes your body to store fat around the midsection while you sleep. When your cortisol is high at night, your body goes into fat storing mode instead of fat burning mode during what should be your most powerful recovery window. Tart cherry juice also contains natural compounds that improve the quality and depth of your sleep. Poor sleep is directly connected to elevated cortisol and belly fat accumulation. By improving sleep quality and lowering overnight cortisol at the same time, tart cherry juice addresses belly fat from an angle you have probably never considered. After 60, nighttime cortisol patterns become more disrupted. The natural drop in cortisol that is supposed to happen in the evening becomes less consistent. That disruption directly contributes to the belly fat accumulation that seems to happen even when seniors are not eating more than they used to. If your belly seems to be getting bigger even though you are not eating differently, and your sleep has gotten worse over the same period, those two things are connected. Your nighttime cortisol is likely disrupting both at once. Addressing them together is what makes tart cherry juice different from most options on this list. Drink 2 to 4 ounces of pure unsweetened tart cherry juice every morning. Make sure it is tart cherry specifically and not sweet cherry, and check that there is no added sugar. You can dilute it with water if the tartness is too strong. Number 5. Turmeric milk. Turmeric milk, sometimes called golden milk, might already be something you have heard of. But if you have not been drinking it specifically in the morning for belly fat, you are missing one of the most targeted natural approaches to the inflammation that drives it. The active compound in turmeric has been studied extensively for its ability to reduce the chronic inflammation that belly fat both causes and sustains. When you add a small amount of black pepper to your turmeric drink, it dramatically increases how much of that compound your body can actually absorb and use. Without the black pepper, most of it passes through without being fully utilized. Turmeric also has a direct effect on cortisol. Research has found that it helps regulate the hormonal stress response and reduces the cortisol-driven fat storage signal that is so common in adults over 60. It also supports liver function, which is important because your liver plays a central role in metabolizing fat and clearing the harmful chemicals that belly fat releases into your bloodstream. After 60, the liver becomes less efficient at processing those chemicals. When the liver is overwhelmed by the constant inflammatory output of belly fat, it has less capacity to metabolize fat effectively. Turmeric helps support that liver function, which allows the fat-burning process to work more efficiently. If you have been active and eating well, but your belly keeps expanding, your liver may be overwhelmed by the inflammatory chemicals your belly fat constantly releases. Turmeric with black pepper is one of the most researched ways to give your liver that support every single morning. Warm a cup of milk, dairy, or plant-based, both work, and stir in half a teaspoon of turmeric and a small pinch of black pepper. Drink it warm before breakfast. The black pepper is not optional if you want the full effect. Without it, your body absorbs very little of what makes turmeric so powerful. Number 4. Lemon water. Lemon water is something a lot of people drink in the morning without fully understanding what it is doing inside their body. For belly fat specifically, the mechanism goes well beyond just hydration. Fresh lemon juice contains a compound that research has found reduces fat accumulation and improves insulin sensitivity at the same time. Better insulin sensitivity means your cells absorb blood sugar properly instead of sending it to be stored as belly fat. Lemon also has an alkalizing effect on your body once it is metabolized, which helps reduce the internal acidity that drives the chronic inflammation belly fat feeds on. Lemon water also supports your lymphatic system, which is responsible for clearing the toxic byproducts that belly fat releases into your bloodstream. When your lymphatic system is sluggish, those harmful chemicals build up and cause more inflammation, which causes more belly fat storage. Starting your morning with lemon water gets that clearing process moving early in the day before the inflammatory cycle has a chance to build up. After 60, the lymphatic system slows down and the liver becomes less efficient at clearing those toxins. That combination means the harmful chemicals from belly fat stay in your system longer and cause more damage. Lemon water, first thing in the morning, helps get both systems working before you eat your first meal. If you are already drinking water in the morning, Adding lemon to it is one of the simplest upgrades you can make. The difference is not just nutritional. You are giving your lymphatic system and your liver a head start on clearing the toxic output from your belly fat before your first meal adds more work for them to do. That is the window that matters most, and lemon water is one of the easiest ways to use it. Squeeze half a fresh lemon into a cup of warm water and drink it before anything else. Use warm water, not cold. Cold water can cause a mild stress response first thing in the morning, which is the opposite of what you want. Fresh lemon works far better than bottled lemon juice for this purpose. Number 3. Green tea. If you are not already drinking green tea in the morning, this might be the most important change you can make for belly fat specifically. The research on green tea and abdominal fat in older adults is some of the strongest available for any single drink. Green tea contains a specific compound that research has found to directly target belly fat, the deep visceral fat around your organs, more than fat stored anywhere else in the body. Multiple studies have confirmed this effect, and it works through a combination of mechanisms. It increases the rate at which your body burns fat for energy. It improves insulin sensitivity, and it reduces the inflammation that belly fat constantly generates. Green tea also contains a calming compound that reduces cortisol without making you feel tired or sluggish. That is the combination your body needs in the morning. Lower cortisol means less fat storage signal going to your midsection while you are still getting the metabolic boost from the fat-burning compounds. After 60, your metabolism naturally slows, and your body becomes more efficient at storing fat and less efficient at burning it. The compounds in green tea essentially counteract that shift by boosting fat burning, specifically in the abdominal area. Research has found this effect is more pronounced in older adults than in younger ones. If you are currently drinking coffee every morning, swapping even 1 cup for green tea is worth trying for 30 days. You are still getting caffeine, but you are adding fat-burning and cortisol-lowering compounds that coffee does not have. That combination hitting your body at the same time in the morning is hard to replicate with anything else on this list. Drink 1 to 2 cups of green tea every morning. Brew it with water that is hot, but not boiling, around 175 degrees Fahrenheit, as boiling water destroys some of the beneficial compounds. Do not add sugar. A small squeeze of lemon enhances absorption of the fat-burning compounds. Number 2. Apple cider vinegar drink. Apple cider vinegar is one of the most well-researched natural options, specifically for belly fat, and the science behind it is more solid than you might expect. The active compound in apple cider vinegar does several things that directly target the root causes of belly fat. It suppresses the storage of body fat. It improves insulin sensitivity so your cells absorb blood sugar properly instead of converting it to fat. It reduces blood sugar spikes after meals, and it signals your brain to reduce appetite throughout the day. A study published in a major nutrition journal found that people who consumed vinegar daily for 12 weeks had significantly lower belly fat and waist measurements compared to those who did not. Apple cider vinegar also helps break the cortisol and inflammation cycle that keeps belly fat locked in place after 60. By improving insulin sensitivity and reducing post-meal blood sugar spikes, it removes 2 of the main triggers that keep cortisol elevated and fat storage signals active throughout the day. After 60, insulin resistance becomes increasingly common and blood sugar regulation becomes less precise. That means more frequent blood sugar spikes and more frequent conversion of that excess blood sugar into belly fat. Apple cider vinegar directly addresses that pattern, which is why its effect tends to be stronger in older adults. If you have heard about apple cider vinegar before and dismissed it as a trend, the research is worth a second look. The specific mechanism where it improves how your cells handle blood sugar is well documented and directly relevant to why belly fat after 60 is so stubborn. 30 days of consistent use is what the research points to for seeing a measurable difference. Mix 1 tablespoon of raw unfiltered apple cider vinegar into a large glass of warm water. Drink it through a straw to protect your tooth enamel. Never drink it straight, as the acidity can damage your throat and teeth. Start with a smaller amount if your stomach is sensitive and build up to a full tablespoon over a week or 2. Number 1. Black coffee. This is the one that surprises people the most. Black coffee at the top of a belly fat list feels counterintuitive, especially when a lot of seniors have been told to cut back on caffeine. But when it is consumed correctly, black coffee is one of the most powerful natural tools for targeting the deep belly fat that is hardest to shift after 60. Black coffee stimulates your metabolism and increases the rate at which your body burns fat for energy. But what makes it specifically effective for belly fat is that caffeine activates a process where your body breaks down fat cells and releases them into the bloodstream to be used as fuel. Research has confirmed that this fat mobilizing effect targets visceral fat, the deep, dangerous fat around your organs, more than surface fat. Black coffee also suppresses the hunger hormone that drives overeating throughout the day. By reducing that hunger signal in the morning, you naturally consume less, which removes one of the main contributors to belly fat accumulation. It also has anti-inflammatory properties that help counteract the chronic inflammation that belly fat generates. After 60, your metabolism slows and your body becomes better at storing fat than burning it. Black coffee gives your metabolism the signal it needs to start burning fat early in the morning before your first meal. Drinking it in the fasted state after waking up amplifies this effect significantly because your body has no food to burn and turns to fat stores instead. If you are already drinking coffee every morning, the change here is simple. Just move it to before breakfast instead of with it and drop the cream and sugar. That single shift changes your coffee from a habit that blunts fat burning into one that actively triggers it. The fasted state, combined with black coffee, is when the fat-mobilizing effect is strongest and your belly fat is most accessible as a fuel source. Drink 1 cup of black coffee after your morning water and before breakfast. No sugar, no cream, no flavored syrups. Those additions spike your insulin and cancel out the fat-burning effect entirely. If you find black coffee too bitter, try a higher quality bean, as they tend to be naturally smoother. Now you have all 8. Cinnamon water, ginger water, tart cherry juice, turmeric, milk, lemon water, green tea, apple cider vinegar drink, and black coffee. All of them targeting the real reasons belly fat after 60 is so hard to shift. The inflammation, the insulin resistance, and the cortisol that keep telling your body to store fat around your midsection no matter what else you do. You do not have to drink all 8 every morning. Pick 2 or 3 that feel manageable and start there. Drink them consistently before breakfast when your body is in a fasted state and most receptive to the fat-burning effect. Give it 30 days and your body will start responding in ways that dieting alone never could. Now we want to hear from you. Have you tried any of these drinks before? Which one surprised you the most, or which one are you going to start with tomorrow morning? Share your experience in the comments below. We read every single one, and if you found this helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe so you never miss what we cover next. Thanks for watching.